Hey, 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 happy day. I don't drink alcohol, so I am not an alcoholic, but I want to share with you all that I do drink distilled spirits. So, hey, guess what? I'm spiritual. Just saying. Recently, I used a quote from George Washington on this show, and a viewer wrote in to say that George Washington was a revolting American. Took me a minute to process that, and then I started to giggle and I thought, that's a good one. But I also said that George Washington said that you all got to have information. Give me information and I can make a decision. Without good information, I will not be able to make a good decision. Now, to the British Columbia healthcare stuff going on with this virus. I went in to see them the other day. I finally got an appointment and I said, I've been sick for so long, you either got to shoot me or run me over with a train or do something. Like, what do I do with me? And I said, can you test me? I have all the symptoms pretty much, except for the breathing part, and not everybody has that as a symptom. I said, so come on, I want to know if I got it for the sake of other people and so on. And they said, we're short of swabs in British Columbia, and we won't test you, but we will phone you every day. And if you don't answer the phone, we'll assume you're dead, and we'll come and pick you up, and then we'll test you, right? That's pretty much the story. And I said, well, hold it. How do you get all this information? You have numbers. You say X number of people today are infected, and so how do you know that? Well, that's the people that come to emergency pretty much and so on. I said, well, then that's totally inaccurate. If you're saying that there's 1,000 people that have the virus that have tested positive today, that means that there's 100,000 people who weren't allowed to be tested, like me. Is there a chance that I could have it? Yes. There's also a chance I could become an astronaut, I suppose, but they don't have information. George Washington, he wouldn't like you people. He'd be very mad at you people. A constant reminder for all of us to share with others that freedom is an essential service. And the people who take our freedom away, they do it without the proper information, particularly in Canada. And they're closing ferries in British Columbia, doing all these things. Maybe they should lock everything down, because if they did test everybody and the numbers reflected what they probably would, you got a real issue in your hands, right? But social service, essential service, is it freedom? Of course it is. Ask that lady of Michigan. She's the governor, and she is a commie through and through, and it's about control. I'm in control now, so you can't buy a seed, and you can't do this, and you can't go in a boat, but you can go in a canoe, and she's just wild. They come up with rules every other minute, right? We got to remove the liberal state, the socialist movement. There's little time. The sand is slipping through the hourglass at an astounding rate. That's another day that we got to do it. In Canada, there's this virus thing, and yet the Prime Minister of Canada, he continues to try to sneak in his gender stuff all of the time. That's all he's about. Everything else is a way over his head, right? It's all about genders and homosexuality. He's going to be a mess this year, by the way, because there won't be any parades to go to. I think he's been the Grand Marshal in many of them, but now in the military in Canada, you're not allowed to tell people what you are. It's gender neutral, right? It's a new reality. Sex, gender identity, and gender expression are prohibited grounds of discrimination under the Canadian Human Rights Act. Forthwith, the use of gender pronouns such as he or his or she or her are not to be used. These people are nuts. They're not even unhinged anymore. They're just totally unglued. I mean, you got to get a bunch of cells that have real thick walls with pads and shove these people in there. These people, being the guys that are running the country, they're totally goofy. This is leadership. This is like the Twilight Zone. Then you have Joe Biden. I promise you people that my running mate will be a woman. Well, right there, half of all of the potential people are eliminated. That'll be the males, right? Half. So he doesn't ever say anything about your ability. Are you going to be good at the job or you be good for the country? All he says is you have to be a woman. I'm surprised he didn't say you have to be a woman, 5'2", black, and have a purple dog. I mean, wow. Are you fitting into that kind of scheme? In Canada, that's the scheme. I mean, it's so troublesome to see all this stuff in action. And then you have President Trump. He does such a great job at irritating the left, and that just warms me every day. It gives me something to kind of kickstart with. And he says, I'm going to mail out checks, $2.5 trillion, but my name is going to be breaks me up, chokes me up. It's going to be in the bottom of every check. And of course, the guys on the left, they just are having a stroke. And you can't do that. He said, of course I can. If this is branding, I'm giving them the money. Oh, you're not, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's kind of neat to watch him in action. And then we swing over to Canada, and I just want to sit down and have a heart attack. Oh boy, y'all come back with more for you here sooner than later. See ya.